Oregon, top G name tag, gone. Andrew Tate just lost to Chase DeMoor via majority decision. And look, you need to be very careful with what you say about Andrew Tate because his fanboys will suddenly hop on board and start flexing another man's money to, try and insult you back for, just speaking a bit of the truth on Andrew Tate. But look, we get into it now. Andrew Tate just lost to Chase DeMoor. Got battered from round 3 onwards. Round 3 onwards, got battered. Andrew Tate, I mean, look, it arguably actually could have been 5-1. I scored it 4-2 to Chase DeMoor, but it very arguably could have been 5-1 to Chase DeMoor. Andrew Tate definitely took the first round. Other than that, he was getting really pieced up there. Really, really, really badly pieced up. And Chase DeMoor walking towards him with his chin in the air. Tate's jab was all right for the first 2 rounds, but his feet were stuck. He did not move a bloody limb other than throw the jab. His feet were stuck literally on the canvas. They could not move. And, his fans are going to come out and make loads of excuses. Oh, he's 39 years old. Oh, he's not a boxer. Look, no matter what, the way he talks online, the way he talks, he has lost a ridiculous amount of aura. He can't really fully be taken seriously after that anymore. Oh, yeah, look. Yes, Andrew Tate fans, he's a ridiculously successful man. Fair play. But reality is, with the way he's talking, thinking that he is the alpha male of our species, and that he can beat any man on the bloody planet. He couldn't even beat Chase DeMoor. I hate to say it, Andrew Tate fans, but he couldn't even beat Chase DeMoor. The alpha male of our species couldn't even beat Chase DeMoor. Yeah. They're not going to like that. So now they're going to start, flexing his money. But, it's sad. It really is sad what extent his fans are going to go to. Look, people are going to stop taking him seriously now. People are just going to stop taking Andrew Tate seriously now. And let's be real, he'll probably be irrelevant by mid-2026. He's going to get cuts on all social media. He's going to get memed. And then by the middle of 2026, he'll just be irrelevant. He would have fell into irrelevancy because no one was taking him seriously anymore. He's not going to fight again. Surely not. That was one of the worst fights I've ever seen, and I feel like most people would agree. It was absolutely awful to watch, from both guys. But Chase DeMoor landed the way bigger punches. The follow-through uppercut that he spammed landed God knows how many times. Tate couldn't move out the way of it because, again, his feet was literally just stuck in the middle of the ring, honestly. There was no footwork there from him whatsoever. His chin was also ridiculously high in the air. I mean, whose bloody chin was higher? That's the bloody big question of the night. Whose chin was actually higher in the air? Clearly Andrew Tate's, because he took way more of a beating than what Chase DeMoor did. Tate fans are going to say, oh, yeah, it's the size difference. Andrew Tate overall is the way more experienced guy in combat sports. It's not like he's a grappler or a wrestler or anything like that. He's a kickboxer. It's not boxing, but, it's closer to boxing than what grappling and what wrestling is. So, from people who make up excuses about grapplers losing in boxing fights and wrestlers losing in boxing fights, kickboxers coming over, you'd expect Andrew Tate to be able to do something to bloody Chase DeMoor out of all people. And we've seen Chase DeMoor fight many times. There's a lot of bloody tape on him out there. And Andrew Tate couldn't do a thing. He looked absolutely clueless in there. Absolutely clueless. His aura's gone. It's completely gone. It has vanished. A downfall happened badly right there in a space of 18 minutes. That is what happened there. But before coming to the fight, his fans were, his aura's higher than ever right now. and then literally just crashes down to the lowest of lows. That is exactly what happens. The lowest of lows. But people are still somehow gonna try and defend it. But the reality is, Chase DeMoor smashed Andrew Tate around the bloody ring. Smashed him around the ring. Wow. Wow. Look, I thought Andrew Tate would win. I really did. But I think a big thing, which is why he lost, is because, look, obviously it's not the only reason, but I think a big thing, just looking at it from an outside perspective, I think a big reason why he lost is because he couldn't bloody move his body. He couldn't move. He couldn't move. He couldn't commit. He couldn't move his feet. They were stuck. Chase DeMoor at least was still moving forward, able to pressure. And Andrew Tate couldn't step back. He couldn't pull back. He couldn't do a thing to defend himself in there. Couldn't do a thing. There was no high guard from him. There was no defense from Andrew Tate whatsoever. There was no footwork to get out of the way of shots. There was no upper body movement from him whatsoever. He boxes a lot like a kickboxer, as expected. But the thing is with, it's weird. It is weird because you do look at that and just think, is it the age? Is it the fact he was a kickboxer? Or is it what really is it? But that is absolutely that. And Andrew Tate has just taken a brutal hit now, an absolutely brutal aura loss. This is the lowest of lows for him now. This is the lowest of lows. I don't know if he just goes into hiding now. I mean, he probably won't. He'll just eventually fall into irrelevancy. So I just don't think people would take him seriously with the way he talks about a countless amount of things. People should know. People are gonna look at him talking like that. It's like Chase DeMoor every time he says something. All right, Chase DeMoor. Every time he says something about assaulting someone, Chase DeMoor. That's just what you're gonna hear and think. But yeah, there we go.